Hola, clase. So today we're going to be learning how to use the present perfect tense in Spanish. So we will use the present perfect to talk about things we have done. Here's some examples in English. I have eaten dinner. Teresa has seen that movie. Or you have been to Madrid. So in English, you can see that this tense has two verbs that are working together. So you can't use this tense without both of those verbs. We're always going to have the verb like have or has, and then the verb afterwards, like the action that we're actually talking about having been done. In these examples, you can see that Spanish also has two verbs that work together in order to form the perfect tense. You will notice that both verbs actually are getting conjugated. Usually when two verbs are side by side and they're working together, we only conjugate the first verb and we leave the second one alone. So like yo quiero hablar, I want to talk. Hablar, we don't have to conjugate. But in this case, in this tense, the present perfect, we do. So ella ha caminado, she has walked. Yo he hablado con mi primo, I have talked with my cousin. Nosotros hemos comido desayuno, we have eaten breakfast. And ustedes han vivido en Guatemala, you all have lived in Guatemala. So you're going to see real quick that it's really easy to form the present perfect. So like I said, in order to form the present perfect, you are going to need to use two verbs working together. So haber is the first verb that you're going to have, and you're just going to conjugate it into its five forms in the present tense. So yo he, tú has, ella ha, nosotros hemos, ellos han. So since the A is silent, the H is silent, you're just hearing the rest of that sound. Ellas, ha, hemos, han. And then the second verb, we call it the past participle, and it's really easy to conjugate. If it is an AR verb, all you have to do is take off the AR and add ado, A-D-O. So you can see here for the verb hablar, all you have to do is take off the ending, you take off the AR, and then you just add ADO onto every single ending. So hablado, 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 it doesn't have to match the person like yo or nosotros or ellos. So if I wanted to say I have talked, I would say yo he hablado. If I want to say you have talked, tú has hablado. She has talked. Ella ha hablado. We have talked. Nosotros hemos hablado. And they have talked. Ellos han hablado. It gets even easier with ER and IR verbs because they take the same endings. So still, with the first verb haber, which does mean to have, we translate in English as have or has. It's going to get conjugated a, as, a, amos, an. And then for that past participle, if it is an ER verb like comer, or if it's an IR verb like vivir, they're actually going to take the exact same endings. So we get rid of the ER or the IR and we add ido in the place, IDO. So comido, 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 and vivido, 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 vivido. Again, they don't have to match the subject of the sentence. If you think about it, you've already matched the subject of the sentence with the first verb, haber, and so there's no reason for the second one to match it as well, because that would be kind of redundant. So the first one there, I'll just do the comer. So yo he comido, I have eaten. Tú has comido, you have eaten. Ella ha comido, she has eaten. Nosotros hemos comido, we have eaten. Ellos han comido, they have eaten. And then if you were going to do vivir, yo he vivido, I have lived. Tú has vivido, you have lived, and then so on. You can see how it works from there. But a pretty easy tense. Really, you just have to remember the ado and ido endings for your past participle, and then just remember the conjugations for haber, ella, sa, hemos, han. Aquí tenemos algunos ejemplos. So, yo he comido pescado frito. I have eaten fried fish. Nosotros hemos revisado el vocabulario. We have reviewed the vocabulary. Tú has vivido en un apartamento. You have lived in an apartment. So really all of your regular ER, IR, AR verbs, it's really easy to add that ending on that second verb because they're just all the same ending on every single regular verb. All right, so the only bad news about this tense, if you can even consider this bad news, is that there are some irregulars. So some of the past participles are irregular. Hacer, to do, hecho, so that would be like done. Ver, to see, visto, seen. Ser, to be, so sido, so it ends up as been. Dar, to give, dado, given. Ir, to go, ido, gone. Decir, to say, dicho, said. And escribir, to write, so escrito, written. Now, this isn't a completely exhaustive list. There are some others that are irregular as well, but these are the ones that you'll probably use the most or that you'll see the most. In English, we have a lot more irregulars in the as far as past participles go that are in the perfect tense. For example, we have sung, drunk. What are some of the other crazy ones? Swam. So swam, swum, swim. I get confused on those even in English. And so a lot of people who are trying to learn English past participles, they get confused. The nice thing is that these that we're learning, they're the same in all five forms. So if you're saying to give, dado, it's dado all the way through. So yo he dado, tú has dado, ella ha dado, nosotros hemos dado, and ellos han dado. You only have to remember the one form of the irregular verb for all five forms since it's the past participle, the second verb. Here are some examples for you using irregular past participles. So, hemos ido a México muchas veces. We have been to Mexico many times. Mi amigo me ha escrito un mensaje de texto. My friend has written me a text message. Ellos han hecho la tarea. They have done the homework. And yo he sido ocupado. I have been busy.